Okay, so I promised giving you guys some tutorials online. We have done forms, so by now you guys know how to apply forms to page. We'll be doing the forms in addition to the JavaScript. Okay, so with this, let's see how this already. We know this is just the CSS. Okay, so this is it. We want to declare the form inside this section, this content area. Okay, so we'll declare our form by typing in this form. Okay, now we'll give it an input of text. Now we'll give it a name. So the first name is going to be first name, or the first form input here is going to be first name. First name, one word. First name, one word. Then we'll give it a placeholder. Okay, placeholder, we should say, please enter your first name. First name. Okay. So this is the first input we give to the form. Right. So bear in mind that we have given it a name. Okay. This name, we can even shorten it. Instead of saying first name, we'll say F name. To make life easy for us. Okay. And then the second input would be the submit button. Submit. Then we'll give it a name, submit. All right. Then we would specify a value that should be on it. All right. So we would say click submit. Okay. Save it. Now, when we view it in the browser, we see it like this. Okay. So when we click on submit, something happens here. You see, it's saying that the first name and then submit have been clicked. Okay. So we'll go back to our code and modify certain things. So now we want the form to appear at the middle. So we'll put in our put in this so that it's pushed into the middle. We'll save and then refresh the page. Okay. So here we have this showing now. So now when we input something and say first name, Victor, then click on submit, that Victor comes here in place of the first name. So it says the name, the value it holds is what? Victor. The submit, the value it holds is what? Click to submit. I hope you are seeing it. So first name, the value the first name contains is what? Victor. And the submit, the value it contains is what? Click to submit. So when we come here, you see it here. So input, okay, which has a name, F name, okay, has the value. So the value here will not type it in here, but because it's going to provide us with an input field, which is this thing here. So whatever goes in here now becomes the value of that input. But that of the submit, as you can see, we've already furnished a value to it, and the value is what? Click to submit. All right. So as I said, so another thing too we need to point out is all the elements we have here must have an identity, must have a name that we can refer to it. All right. So here we say this form must have a name called my form. Okay, my form. All right, my form. You could specify and say the method of transmitting should be by post, but we just want it to be by default. They get right by default. Even though you don't declare the method, it knows that it must use the get. Okay, so this is just the form we have created as it didn't create it. All right. Now the form actually does nothing but just when we put in a value called, let's say, vector, it just submits it. That's all. Now we want to use JavaScript to collect the data we have here. JavaScript to collect the data we have here to do something for us. So let me go back. If I even submit again, you can see that submit here is saying the F name is equal to like basically nothing. So meaning I have submitted something empty. Are you getting it? So assuming I do this, I enter, then do space, 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 space. Watch carefully. When I submit, that creates this plus, 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 plus. It means that there are things in it. There are, even though I'm doing the space, 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 you don't see anything in it. But it's able to do what? It. All right. So we would actually solve this particular problem. All right. So to solve a problem like this, we will need to now connect this form to our JavaScript. How do we do it? We'll come with put in a tag called script. Okay. Then src, the path. So we already have JavaScript as a folder here. So we type in JavaScript /script.js. Now you realize that this script.js is not existent. It's not here. It's not inside this. But we want it to reside there. So what do? You will come into the JavaScript and create a new file. Then we'll save the file in here as script.js. Then we'll save it. Right. So now that we have this, we want to now connect to it. So we'll create the function. So when you put in the function, it gives it the function name here will be validated. Validate. We don't want anything to be in it for now. No argument to be passed. So validate. Okay. Then in here we'll put in something like say prompt. What are you prompting? You say enter your name, please. So here we are prompting the person that enter your name. Then you do what? We'll put in something. So here prompt takes in 2 arguments. We have this side that will be shown to the user, and this side that will accept a question. So here enter your name. Then you enter it. So when it comes up, you enter it and it will catch it. So this is what we have. Now we have given a simple JavaScript function. This is how we declare a function. And this is a method. All right. So we'll come to refresh our page. Okay. Let's refresh the page. It's not working. So we just delete this one from here. And enter. So I've refreshed the page like that. But when we click, nothing happens. So we'll go back. We'll go back and now link this function to the form we have created. So we'll come back to this. Okay. Now, for us to be able to, we have done the linking, but it's not going to happen because we have not called it. We have not called the function. So to call the function, we'll come in here. Then we'll say on submit. Something should happen. On submit means that when an event happens, this particular validate function should be called. So meaning we are calling this validate function the moment there's a submission. So watch this. When I come in here now, let's open the browser. Then just click on this. We're not going to validate, just click on this, on submit. So meaning when it clicks, something should happen. So we have clicked, but it seems like it's not still giving us the output we wanted because we're expecting that at least when it's submitted, something should happen. It should be able to call. It should be able to call the script we have actually placed in here. So on submit, this particular function should be called. But let's go back to our function. This is the script. So we say here, function validate from. So we have spelled it wrongly. So here it's supposed to rather be from. Supposed to be prompt. See, I spelled it wrongly. So please take note of that. Prompt. If it's wrongly spelled, it will not work. So prompt. So we'll save it. We'll go back here, refresh. Then we'll click on it. So see that now that we've gotten it right, when we click on it, it says enter your name, please. So this simply is telling us that it's now able to recognize what we have here. All right. So when you click on submit, then you see it throws this caution to you, enter your name. So when I type my name in here, nothing happens. I've just inputted the name. All right, because we said on submit. So the moment we click on it, it should do what? It should give us that response. So when I click again, it will come again. You see it. Now let's go further. So we can see that we have here this input. All right. So this particular input field, since we cannot cut the form there, we will now say something about it. That instead of it prompting us, we will rather create a space, or in other words, a place value, a variable, say x. Then we assign the x, yes, space. We assign the x to the window, then document, window document dot forms. You see, you are referring to the forms. All right. Then we would bring in an array. Okay, referring to the name of the form. And the name of the form here is what? Is my form. So I'll just copy it and send it right in here. Now we are making reference to another one make reference to this input. So we make reference to this input, which is the first name. So we'll copy it and send it across to this guy. All right. So here, don't forget to put in your quotation marks. Then we'll say dot value. If you remember the other day, I showed you this on campus, but because at that time you didn't appreciate it, so you didn't know exactly what's going on. So now, this we have declared X. We are just saying this particular variable should be assigned to the form, to assign to what? This form, the particular form, should be assigned to it. Okay, so that when we say this is equal to this, then we'll terminate it here. And then we would declare a statement and say if, now we are using a control structure. If we say if X, so we call the X, compared to, so you remember that when we did the empty thing, you remember when we came here, we did it looks empty, nothing was there, but we want to catch it. What do we do? So we say if it's empty, or X is equal to null. Null means it shouldn't be left empty. All right. Now we are all trying to find ways to solve the problem. So we're saying if X, so if the particular form we are referring to is empty, then something should happen. So what should happen? We're going to alert. We're going to alert whoever is going to submit that please do what? Enter your first name. Please enter your first name. Don't forget to put in your what do you call it? Terminator to terminate it. So we come in here and refresh and then try to click and let's see what will happen. Okay. So we click and then, nothing really happened. Let's try something again and see, nothing really happened. So what could be the problem here for us? So here, we have already declared that this validate function, it worked first when we put in the prompt. But if this time around it's not seeing it, then it means something must have gone wrong in there. So what could be the problem? Here, we are supposed to put in double equal sign to serve as an assignment. To serve as an assignment. Or in other words, comparison. If we are comparing this, all right, this is a comparison statement. If we put equal, double equal sign, it means you are comparing. This is an assignment. This we've assigned to this. Whereas this one is what? Supposed to be a comparison. All right. So let's save again and then go back to our form. We refresh and we click. So when we click, it tells us, please enter your first name. I get it. So here is going to make sure that we have done the right thing before we can go ahead and do submission for us. Okay. So here, now the first name will be lecture. Then I submit. So now that I have been able to submit it, it has captured the lecture in here for me. You see it? You see the difference? Let me refresh the page. Let me go back. Then go back to this. And then call it up. So when we come here, I was just trying to submit an empty stuff. So see that it's forcing me. Please enter your first name. So even though it has done this, it's empty. It has not captured anything yet. So until I have put in something, it's going to continue asking me to put in my. So then I'll put in, maybe say this time, but I'll then click. Then now it has been able to capture, but I'll. Okay. So now we'll go back to our script and say that if this, okay, is empty, then it should alert us this. Else we're saying that if there is something positive, meaning that else if it is not empty, then it should alert. It should also alert us. Alert us. Say you are welcome. So here you are welcome. You are welcome. We'll put a space here. Then we'll call the X. We'll call X. So all we just want to do that. You are welcome, X. And who is X? The input you put in there. Whatever you put in there. So you are welcome, X. All right. So now we will go back and then try to make sense of our work. We'll come back here, open it. Then we'll click. It requests, please enter your first name. Okay. Then we'll come, then we'll put our first name later. I will click on it. And to say, you are welcome, Victor. Okay, then you see that now to submit Victor. Are we okay? So this is just the beginning, is the intro to it. All right. So having done this, do it a couple of times and you'll be fine. So your question is your assignment. I'll meet tomorrow or Tuesday. Whether those are meeting tomorrow, you get prepared. Those who be meeting on Tuesday, you get prepared. So now you are supposed to do a first name and a last name. And this form will come down. I hope you are listening carefully. I take it again. This time you are supposed to build on it. Make sure you do first name and a last name. And then the click button will come down here. So that when we click on it, it should alert us that, okay, first name must be entered. Even if you have inputted the first name, the second name has not been, the last name has not been inputted, it should insist that the second name be inputted before it can submit. So I'm expecting to see the first input tag, the second input with a submit beside it down here. Okay, so that is your assignment for today. All right, look at the code. So this is the code. This is the code for the first one, right? Now link it up to the script. Then we come into the script. This is what we have for the script. This is what we have for the script. Okay. All right. So I expect to get feedback from you tomorrow. We would look at it together. All right. Thank you so much for your attention.